or what they call him, Bobby Castaneda. And he is a returning starter from last year, third-year starter for the Cavemen. Look to see him getting downfield. He is their number one receiver from last year and the year before. He's a stud. 8 minutes, 49 seconds. Quarterback tonight for the Cavemen is Eloy Lopez after a grueling quarterback battle this offseason. He hands the ball off there, and he's going to get it to Brock Wright, who gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage is where they're putting that one. 8 minutes, 37 seconds. 8 minutes, 28 seconds. And Brock Wright will get a lot of the rushing load for the Cavemen. He was a beast and a force last year to reckon with. No doubt about it. And again, they toss this one to Wright, and it's going to be a couple yards short of the line of scrimmage. So they're going to lose a couple yards on that one. Referee's going to spot this one just a yard back. So 3rd and 11.
Yeah, they're definitely keying in on Brock.
So the Cavemen's strong suit, of course, is their run game when it comes to offense, but they do have weapons that they can turn to. They've got 3 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left. We'll see what they go with. Lopez definitely has an arm. He was a pitcher for the Cavemen this year in the baseball team. He's moving out to his right, trying to scramble, gets past a couple of guys. He's going to get about 5 yards on the play. Nice little scramble there, but it's not going to be near enough. The Cavemen are going to need to punt this one off at their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to take a little loss on that one. Scrambled for 5, but yeah, definitely not enough.
And I think what the Cavemen are going to tell Eloy, in a game like this, look, this team is obviously no joke. You know who we're playing. You scramble out, you've got to be sure that pass is something that you can make. If not, that's something that can be taken for 6, and you just don't want that. So yeah. Cavemen back to punt. They get this one off, and it is going to be kicked off. No number here for number 4 on the roster. Little numbers on the single-digit numbers not included on the roster anywhere. Evan Leos. Okay, there we go. 6 minutes, 32 seconds on the clock here. First quarter, and the Artesia Bulldogs are going to have this one on the 43-yard line. Warren in the shotgun. He's going to look downfield for a pass. He's going to get this one off, but it's not going to go. Are they going to call this one interference? No, I don't see a flag. That looked like a pretty obvious interference from the defense for the Cavemen.
Yeah, he was tackling him before the ball even got in flight, got to him. So I thought for sure the guy was looking straight at him. So
an interesting no call there, and Artesia not arguing the call there, so they must have thought it was okay. 6 minutes, 27 seconds. Warren can do it on the ground and in the air. He pitches it back to Para. Para trying to get something. He's going around. He gets hit hard by McKibben on the end of that play. He was taken by surprise by that hit. They're going to give this tackle to Ty Young, who got onto him first. Colton McKibben came and finished the job. And Ruben, I saw him today at the pep rally, and you're going, okay, cool, there's the football team and a 25-year-old. He is large, and he's just a big kid that you think this guy has been in a college program. Yeah. He's been working his butt off. He's in powerlifting. All credit to him for what he's done and become.
He's a red shirt senior in college.
The handoff goes to Para. This one's going to be an easy first down. He's going to get more than that, 15 yards more. He gets 25 yards on the play. And he got hit pretty hard there. Ty Young got there to make the stop, but not before a solid 25-yard run there for Artesia. Para taking it and making the run game look like the strong suit here for Artesia. Pada's been good. Here he goes again. Another toss to him, and he's going to get a couple of yards. Got hit, kept moving through contact, and he ended up getting pushed out of bounds. But Pada is a tough running back, a senior this year. And I think we remember the name from last year, but, you know, you would have thought he would have been the star last year the way he's running tonight.
Yeah, that's the thing about Artesia. They usually have one solid running back that if they feel like handing off, they can do a lot of stuff, but they've got so many weapons on the receiving end that it's hard to cover them all.
5 minutes, 18 seconds. And Artesia looking to score again before the first quarter's over. Scrambling is Warren. He's going to get some yards on this one. Maybe a first. Comes up a couple yards short. Got a 7-yard run there, maybe an 8-yard run for Derek Warren. And Ruben, just from what we've seen so far, it just looks easy for Artesia. When they have a decision to make, they make the right one, at least so far. The only times we've really seen the Cavemen make plays to really stop Artesia and stun them is something that's basically set in stone by their coach. Hey, this is a handoff, you know, and Pada maybe gets stopped at the line of scrimmage or maybe behind the line of scrimmage. But when you put it up to Warren and it's in his hands, he's made some really good decisions already tonight.
He just makes it look easy.
He does.
You know what I mean? I mean, 3rd and 25 a while ago, and it's like, okay, we're just going to hand off and run 40 yards.
Yeah. All right, Warren back to pass again. A nice pass there to Houtling.
There's a flag.
I'm sorry, that was to Byers. That would be a first down, but there is a flag on the play. That's going to be offsides on Artesia. A false start, I'm sorry, on Artesia. So that's going to bring him back 5 yards.
Yeah, Byers just makes it look easy. Warren just steps back, takes his time, and goes, okay, here, I'm going to throw you something. And he just catches it every time.
Well, and a lot of guys positioned to be one of the best players in the state in a sport. Unless, you know, pull away from these sports. Maybe a contact sport like football, you see them stop, but you do see some of the best stick around. Shane Andrews was one of those guys that stuck around, played football his high school career, and look at where it turned out for him. 4 minutes, 54 seconds on the clock. Warren in the shotgun. He's got Pada behind him. He's looking downfield, but he's got tons of room to move here. Might get taken down behind the line of scrimmage, and he gets hit. His helmet comes off. Looks like the ball came loose, and there's a flag on the play. We'll see what that is.
Yeah, I don't understand.
If anything, it might be a face mask. We're hoping that's not the case. It looked like a clean hit, and his helmet flew off, but we'll see what they say. If they pull down at the face here, we'll know. We'll see what he says. 4 minutes, 38 seconds. Personal foul face mask. And they're going to put this one against the Cavemen. I did not see the face mask go down. Of course, we're not on the field like the referees are. They've got a tough job to do. But that helmet came off, and sometimes that's an easy indication of where that's going or why that is.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Sanders wasn't very happy on that call over there, John, with the referee a little bit, like, come on.
4 minutes, 30 seconds.
First, what, 1, 2?
Yeah, it looks like 1st and 2 here on the 10-yard line. So Artesia in a really good position to score. Essentially 8 downs right here within 10 yards. So tons of plays to run with still 4 minutes and 4.5 minutes on the clock. So we're going to see what they do here. Warren's in the backfield with Pada, and they're going to pass it here. Just a nice little dump off. This one's going to be caught and taken to the 5-yard line, so it's an easy first down. They'll have 4 downs to make it into the end zone with 5 yards to go. That one was a pass to number 13, Sawyer Whitehead. It's the first time we've seen him get the ball here tonight. Another senior, another back for the Bulldogs, and they just have a lab creating all these seniors in Artesia, it seems. 6 buses they brought tonight. They travel deep, and they definitely travel with their fans big time as well. Lots of orange on the other side. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Lots of fans tonight for sure. And this one's going straight to Byers. He just got it straight off the snap, took it in for a touchdown, and we're not seeing the hands up. There it is. Touchdown Artesia. And they strike again before Carlsbad can get one across. It's 13-0 Artesia. And Byers, an absolute beast, just getting the ball, taking it in, doing it all himself. And now they're going to send up Corbin Dominguez for the kick, a junior for the Bulldogs. Pretty big kicker, 6'3", 210, and that one goes through the uprights, and it's going to be 14-0. Cavemen going to try and get their first drive going all the way down to the other side. We've got a few sponsors to thank here in the first quarter. Denton Wood Funeral Home, Carter's Air Conditioning, Thunder Run Concrete. A big shout out to our sponsors making it possible tonight here on Carlsbad Radio, 96.3 FM. Also available on All Sports Best on YouTube and Facebook. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And Dominguez is getting ready to kick things off again for our. And of course, back for the Cavemen is going to be Bobby Castaneda and Evan Leos.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of interviews with those two students this week on Cavecast. We got a couple of quotes from them that were pretty cool to learn about. Bobby Castaneda said that we asked him, what is some of the things that you do to prepare for your games to be the player that you are? He said that, a lot of people will say weight room, practice, hands team, all these things. He said he is in the film room studying. He's big on that, and it helps him to get at the top of his game. A pretty cool, thing to hear, from an athlete. It's a mature answer there. And here he is. Castaneda catches it here. He hands him. He gets a block there, and he's going to get it 20-yard line, 25, 30, 35. He's going to get taken down the 40-yard line. Got a couple of extra yards even on the last bit of contact. And Evan Leos, a beastly run there on the return.
Yeah, he got a lot of yards after contact, too. That was nice.
That was big time. So Evan Leos, not a big kid here, and he was running like a kid for sure. So we also talked to him. We asked him about the facilities. What is it like to have the new facilities? He said it helps a lot, way more equipment and space to host workouts unlike before in a tent, which is definitely valid. Here's Eloy Lopez, who's going to get the snap, and he's going to keep this one. He's going to get about 3 yards on the play. Ruben, Eloy Lopez, very mobile quarterback for the Cavemen.
Yeah, he's a very athletic kid, good baseball player, like you said a while ago, pitcher. Plays defense, hits the ball. He's just a good all-around ball player, and getting the first plays as a quarterback. So we're going to see that experience as the time goes on.
Absolutely. So last year we had a very solid quarterback who's now at Nimi. Did a really good job last year. Kaysen Betez, and here's a pass to the side here. Good pass there from Lopez. That one goes into the hands of number 27, Brock Wright. Yes, he is the main back for the Cavemen, but he also gets out for passes. And when he does and he gets downhill, it's hard to tackle a guy like that. He's going to go in with full contact. We talked to Coach about what he does and he brings to the table. He said in the scrimmage, sometimes it almost looks like he's looking for contact. Here he is up the middle. He's going to get a lot of yards on this one, about 8 yards on the play. Brock Wright in form from last year now on the second drive for the Cavemen. 13-0, the Bulldogs lead if you're just joining us. And we're approaching 2 minutes here in the first quarter. A long first quarter here, definitely for the Cavemen defense, as Artesia really worked them for a while. Had the ball for a chunk of what this first quarter has been. Here's Lopez again, fakes the handoff. He's going to hold on to this one, and they're going to blow the whistle down. And Carlsbad fans wanting a flag on that play after the whistle. Artesia pushed Lopez down. He had the ball. He shoved him down. No call there on that one, Ruben. I think that's a football play, to be honest with you. I don't know if it warrants a flag, but definitely something to keep an eye on maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe just something like that. You kind of warn them, hey, once the whistle blows, you got to stop you can't keep shoving him to the ground. You know what I mean? Once you stop his momentum. But I think he kind of rolled over like if, you know what I mean, like if they just shoved him down a hill.
Yeah. And Lopez, a very thin build out there, very I would say mobile. 3rd and 4 for the Cavemen. Lopez back in the shotgun, and there's going to be a whistle or a whistle on the play. No, it's going to be a timeout, Cavemen. So right before the snap hit, Cavemen called a timeout, and on the drop back, they slow things down. It's a timeout, Cavemen. We're going to get to a break. This is a big shout out to our sponsors, Southern Tire Mart, Carlsbad Medical Center, and Tate Branch GMC. We'll be right back. It's okay. All right, folks, if you're listening on video stream, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. And Ruben and I think, what is this? Year 3, 4 together on the broadcast. So thank you for being here with me. Appreciate that.
Yep, it's been fun.
So before the game, there was a Dave Perini tribute, a legend here in Carlsbad, a Hall of Famer, great family, great man, and big in the sports scene here in Carlsbad, made his mark and played in college for the team that Deion Sanders coaches now. So kind of cool.
The Colorado Buffaloes.
So here comes the next play. Lopez, lots of time back in the pocket. Now he's going to take off himself, and he's going to get some yards there, enough for sure, and that's what the Cavemen are looking for. First down for the Cavemen. No, I'm sorry, that's not the first down.
No. I was going to say there's a flag, though, so I don't know if it was a late hit when he was out of bounds or what happened, but that was kind of a late flag on it. So we'll see what they tell the head referee.
Maybe unnecessary roughness. We'll see. 47 seconds here left in the first quarter. Referee's still talking about what that might have been. I want to give a big shout out to the Caveman band doing a good job today at the pep rally. They were live and kept things rolling. One of the best pep rallies I think I've ever seen here at Carlsbad High School, because the students were into it. The lights were nice. The cheer team was flawless. And one of the best national anthems that I've ever seen or ever heard by a student was done today, which was awesome. 47 seconds on the clock. Cavemen are going to move up off the unnecessary roughness call there, and it's going to be Eloy Lopez handing it off to Brock Wright. He's going to get to the line of scrimmage and stopped. They're going to finally blow this whistle to stop the play, call it down, as he was stood up on that one. 33 seconds here, and the clock is running in the first quarter. Defense huddled around the monitor on the sideline, trying to get some insight on what's to come next. One of the coolest things about this year's team, Ruben, Sean Cruz, a sophomore this year. He was on varsity last year as a freshman. Very rare to do. Coaches don't really do that often. They want them to develop in the freshman program. He is considered a captain, named by his team as a sophomore. Unbelievable stuff. Eloy Lopez here trying to get Artesia off sides there. Can't get it to go, but that's going to end the first quarter, so it was worth a shot. So now it's going to be 2nd and 10 going into the second quarter. They're going to switch sides, and we're going to take a break. Folks, it is tonight is sponsored by You First Credit Union, Constructors Inc., Desert Hill Electric, and XL Energy. We're going to be right back on radio here in just a moment. Trey and Ruben of All Sports Best. So, guys, if you haven't had a chance to go check it out on YouTube, on All Sports Best YouTube. It is the interview that we did with Coach Sanders. Coach Sanders told us a lot about what they did in the offseason, what to see throughout this season, what they expect, all of that stuff. We even talked about Colton McKibben, rated the number 1 player in the state. Ruben, I don't know if you've seen it. The amount of offers that this student has gotten is unbelievable. I follow him on social media to see kind of what that's all about, right? He posted something today, and on his story, all of the different colleges that send him good luck for game one. I mean, they are
That
on
is
top of
insane.
it,
And
right?
he's a junior,
And he's a junior.
so he's got a lot of time. Yeah.
He's definitely gotten buzz. He's definitely gotten buzz throughout his young career already.
Well, we saw him in the summer playing in
We
a
can start now, Caden.
Gus Masker basketball tournament, and the guy was a big
He's a big
kid.
guy for sure. So here's Lopez. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to take it himself. Can he get into the end zone? He's going to get to the 5, and he's in. A touchdown,
Nice
Cavemen.
run.
And they score on the first play in the second quarter. Eloy Lopez uses his own legs to get in there. Killer, and we get the light show now for the Cavemen. Cavemen score first play of the second quarter. Ruben, tell me about that play right there.
Yeah, well, he just had an option right there, and he just went around the corner, and he just found that corner of the end zone. It was a nice run by Eloy. I like to see that confidence coming through, and hopefully he'll get some more runs like that. Maybe the Cavemen were waiting for it to get a little dark so they could do the light show. That's my
maybe. They had a plan there.
The extra point's good.
So Lennon Ananins gets it through the uprights, and now he's got to go to work on defense for this in the safety position. The Cavemen slap 7 on the board. It's Artesia 14, Cavemen 7, and a renewed energy in the stadium now. Ruben, of course, you get through the first quarter, you're like, it's okay, we still have hope. And it's hard. I mean, you can say it all you want. It's hard to have hope down 2 touchdowns to a team of this caliber, but you see the Cavemen go in and score the way that they did to really run it out there. It's like, all right, now I'm rejuvenated for sure as a fan.
Yeah, for sure. That kind of a drive, it was like a slow, steady drive, and they just kept pushing and getting first downs, and instead of just trying to get that big play all at once.
Exactly. Yeah, this year, like we talked about before, the senior differences is crazy. 36 on Artesia. We looked at it last year for the Cavemen, how many they graduated? 16. So a very big difference there in the 2 programs. But Ruben, I think there is going to be hopefully an upswing in participation. This year they said about a little bit over 140 players came out for the Cavemen squad. Maybe the new facilities will start to see that improve. You see, wow, I can go work out in that new field house. That's pretty sweet. So we're going to see if that really takes place in the coming years. Here's Ananins to kick off for the Cavemen. 11 minutes, 53 seconds. He's going to keep this one low. It's going to skip, but it's an easy hop there for Artesia, and they're going to go with the starburst again, and it's going to be the 20-yard line, the 30. He broke through, and he's going to get hit finally down at around the 40-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Yep, the 41-yard line. And it looked like the Cavemen had a play at around the 25-yard line. He snuck past, and he ended up at the 40-yard line. Nice return there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a nice run. There's a flag on the play. I don't know. Would it be holding or clipping? Guess we'll find out.
We're going to see what they have, yeah.
Holding.
But lights starting to get lower here, or lights. Sun going down, and it is a penalty on the Bulldogs. So a nice break there for the Cavemen. So it will be on the 31-yard line, 11 minutes, 45 seconds as the Bulldogs take over in the second quarter.
Yeah, so that drive gave the Caveman defense a little time to rest. So hopefully it gets them, a little bit of energized, and knowing that, hey, we're still in this game. We got to stay close going into halftime.
Well, and the Cavemen looking for their first stop on defense. Artesia has not punted it or turned it over here yet. And here's a pass out to the outside, number 86, Tret Eaglin. He's going to get a couple of yards on that one, a few yards on that one, about 6 yards on the play. It's going to be.
So I see the name Houtling. I guess he's the backup quarterback, and he's also a receiver.
Yes.
But he that name has been a quarterback in that town for a long time.
Yes, it has, definitely. And here again, Warren gets the pass off. This one's going to go to number 13, Sawyer Whitehead. And it looks like he's going to get stopped just before the first down. And no, it looks like it might be a first down. It looks like the spot was different from the sideline. They are communicating now to try and figure out what that might be. It's close.
No, it's a penalty.
But it looks like it's going to be a first down. Oh, no, there's a flag on the play. So let's see what they come up with.
It's funny he doesn't pick up the flag until after. Okay, now we're going to pick up the flag.
All right, it's going to be a holding call on the offense here. So they're going to send this one back 10 yards.
I wonder if Artesia gets frustrated with that, or if they go, you know what, we've got more field to work with.
Definitely frustrated. Is very focused on the perfect and best product to Artesia. As close to that as you can really get in some years. And to be honest, I wonder if they talk about it afterwards. Hey, this penalty could have been the difference. Those types of things. They put an emphasis on mistakes for sure. 11 minutes, 19 seconds, and Warren back sees an opening. He's going to get hit hard, and it's a fumble. First turnover of the game for the Caveman defense. He was hit like a truck by number 88 from the Caveman, Augustine Venegas, a senior, smoked Warren there as it looked like he was going to take off running. Venegas put an absolute stop to that one, a brick wall, and that's going to be a turnover. Cavemen in good field position. They've got to take advantage of this offensively. Be smart. You are within what we've seen Lennon Annanens be for range, in field goal range, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I think that was 37 Connor Roberson on the recovery. So, yeah, it made it nice. Like he was wide open to get that. Sometimes you try to pick it up and run with it, and it can cost you.
11 minutes, 11 seconds. Lopez in the shotgun looks over, gets it to Castaneda. He hurdles his defender. Oh, my goodness.
Is that a penalty?
Wow. And it looks like it might be. Is that going to be?
There's two flags that
It
went.
looks like Castaneda might be hurt. He's down right now.
Yeah.
They're going to talk about this. The referee's going to make a decision here, but they did throw a flag. He jumped over his defender. That was incredible. Now, might have got him in between the legs is why he's there, because he's squatting down, so it's not like he's not able to stand up on his own.
He's hurting. Yeah.
And they're saying, you can tell he's definitely in pain there, but what a cool play that would have been if it would have got out of there clean. Not seeing the call on this one. Still a flag down on the field.
It looks like it might be against us, but
11 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock, and right there, Castaneda would have had about 7 yards on that play. It would have been a solid start to this drive off the turnover. Referee's talking to Artesia, and we'll see what that might look like. Band playing, cheer and dance, doing their thing on the sidelines. It's a beautiful night for Caveman football. 88 degrees here tonight, so still a bit toasty.
What's the perfect temperature for you, Trey?
I think a good solid 70 degrees. I like 70 degrees.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say
a little bit breezy.
70 to 75. Oh, you like the cold stuff, huh?
7 minutes, 5s. No, I like 70 degrees.
No, Mikey says 32 degrees. I disagree with that temperature.
All right, so still a little bit of waiting here going on.
Flag still sitting there on the middle of the
field.
In
the meantime, guys, tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Steel Depot, Energy Pros, and Carlsbad Chevrolet. It is going to be a penalty against the Cavemen. Looked like it was a personal foul.
So it must. We didn't catch the what they signaled, but it must have been a personal foul, like a holding or something on that play, because it went way back.
11 minutes, 3 seconds. Lopez back with right. It's 1st and 17. Lopez drops back, passes it up. Beautiful spiral over the top. No, it's not going to be caught. That one was Evan Leos. That's who it was intended for. It was in the area. Really nice pass there. Yeah, within nice range, I believe, but it was a tough catch to make.
Yeah, he was throwing over the defender and over him, so he would have had to make a heck of a catch just to make that play.
And Bobby Castaneda is going to jog back onto the field, get back into this play here. And that's the guy that you want to see in a clutch situation, ball in the air, you know, a 1v1, that's a guy you want to see out there, you know, getting under that ball. He's been really good for the Cavemen. He was their star receiver as a sophomore, now a senior.
Yeah, you got Trips on the left side and him on the right side, so ball could go anywhere. I guess Eloy's looking around to see where he's going to go.
2nd and 17 here. Wright gets a big break up the middle, and there he is. About a 14-yard run there for Brock Wright. That's going to come up just short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 3 here for the Cavemen. Brock Wright.
And it's like he dove for an extra yard or two at the end. It's crazy.
He loves the contact. He plays through it well. Cavemen trying to get a playoff here. Eloy Lopez. 23 seconds on the game clock, so lots of time here for the Cavemen, kind of in a hurry up when they got to the line there for whatever reason that might be. Lopez with the option. He keeps it. He's going to get a first down and some, about 7 yards on the play here. And Artesia stripped it, it looks like. They're taking off the other way, 40-yard line, 30. And it looks like the Cavemen very confused by this. We're going to see what they call here. Referees jogging it down to the other side, but I have not seen a touchdown call here yet. And they are calling it a touchdown, Ruben. Very confusing there. It was just kind of, you couldn't see what happened. Maybe. Sanders is out on the play. It looked like the offense was down on that play.
Well, Sanders is
the play was over, and then we saw Artesia take off to the other side, and they ran all the way down for the touchdown. And Sanders not happy about this one, obviously, but that's going to be another touchdown for the Bulldogs. One of the most interesting, confusing plays we've seen tonight. That was the most, for sure. That's 20-7 now for the Bulldogs. And I'm going to give my play-by-play back off that one here in just a moment, because kind of play back what I think happened. As we got Dominguez there to kick it for Artesia, and he gets it. No, he misses the extra point there. And again, Sanders out there wondering what's going on with the referee, still talking to him, saying, hey, why are we getting an extra point off? That shouldn't have been a touchdown in the first place. And he's still going at the White Hat right now on the field. Ruben, what I saw there was the Cavemen had a play. Eloy Lopez took off for about 7 yards. We're excited about the first down. He gets tackled, and then all of a sudden we see Artesia take off to the other side. We didn't see exactly what happened, and of course we aren't close enough to really get the full action. But from what it seems like, he was not down before they stripped the ball from him. They never let it hit the ground. They just took off the other way.
Yeah, I think they stopped his momentum, and he wasn't tackled, and they didn't blow the whistle, so maybe they stripped him of the ball, and they took off, and Caveman thought the play was dead, and that's why it was like, one guy chasing him?
So the Cavemen had a chance to tie things up. That's a 14-point swing right there.
That's a big play right there.
Or 13-point swing after the missed extra point, but 20-7. And the Cavemen were approaching 14-14 if they would have done well there. It was a first down. They were within range of a field goal at the very least. And unfortunately here for the Cavemen, a very tough break and a huge momentum swing to the Bulldogs. And here's a little squib kick there for the Bulldogs, and it looks like Akuambi ends up with it. No, that's Ty Young who ended up with it. He's going to have that one at about the 36-yard line. So Caveman in pretty good
field position
there.
Yeah, they're on the 36 or 37-yard line?
So the lighting system completely different here at Ralph Boyer Stadium. Before there were, I think, 6 light poles that spread light to the stadium. Now there's 4, but I believe they're LED. You can do lots with them, change colors, all of that stuff. And I think it's brighter on the field. They showed the before and after, and you can kind of see it. So really crazy. 10 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter, and the Cavemen take over again. This one on the 35-yard line. Lopez in the backfield by himself. They snap it, and he wasn't ready for it, or he didn't call for it. The snap was miscommunicated, and that's going to take them back about 8 yards on that play. So not a good look for the Cavemen. A couple of back-to-back miscues. And they're going to try to get things going. There was a battle this offseason in the quarterback position. And we remember seeing that it was between Eloy Lopez and Marley Munoz. Marley Munoz, a junior. We might expect to see him get some snaps throughout the year to prepare for next year. But here's Lopez again. He's got some space. He's going to take off running, and he's going to get about 6 yards, maybe 5 yards on the play. He got hit pretty hard on that one.
Yeah, he's getting up slow.
And he's taking his time, like you said, to get up. No, they're helping him up. He's okay. Might have just waited for some people to get away from him. But Lopez, honestly, looking a little bit dazed and confused there. Not looking good right here. I think they got to pull him off, and it might be Munoz here coming out for the Cavemen, and there he is. Number 14, Marley Munoz getting his shot here, the junior for the Cavemen, and that's not something you want to see as a Caveman fan, as a parent, a coach. You know, you see Lopez really kind of just dizzy, seem like.
Yeah, he's over there with the trainers to check him out, and I think he just needed a little break. He got his bell rung with those two defenders.
So 8 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. And drop back is Munoz. He sees a lane. He's going to take it, and there he is. He gets hit at about the original line of scrimmage, so he's going to get about 5 yards on that play. So it's going to be 4th and 10 on the Cavemen's 37-yard line. So it's going to be punt team now coming out. And Cavemen trying to find that spark they had at the beginning of this quarter. It looked like the Cavemen were going to be, you know, taking charge of the second quarter, but now Artesia really swinging it back their own way.
Yeah, that was a big swing right there on that one play where we thought it was dead, and they took it back for a touchdown. So, yeah, like you said, it's a 14-point swing.
And Leos here to punt things off. He's going to put this one out about 22 yards. It's going to get the perfect bounce, though, and it's going to end up at about the 31-yard line. The 29-yard line. So nice punt there for Leos, and really it came down to the way that it bounced nicely. 7 minutes, 25 seconds. (20-7). The Bulldogs lead, and the Bulldogs are going to take over on their own 29-yard line. They're going to look to score before the half and try and put the Cavemen away. Cavemen defense really going to need a stop here. They got a nice fumble on their last big play. And this one's going to be a pitch back to Para. He's going to get 10 yards, 15, 20. He's at the 45-yard line, 30. The 20, the 10, will they stop him? No. They finally get a hold of him, but he's in the end zone. That's a touchdown, Artesia, and another big play, huge play.
Yeah, that was what, 71 yards? Wow.
Big time for the Bulldogs there. Now it makes it 26-7, and it's looking more and more like last year's. They're on the route to last year's score, which ended up being, 44-7. And Cavemen going to need to put something together. We're hoping to see Eloy Lopez be okay. Whether he comes back or not really relevant. I think it's more about how he's going to be doing, and that extra point is good. So Artesia ends up making it 27-7. 7 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock here, and as we get prepared for the Artesia kickoff. We're going to be back here in just a moment. Folks, we're going to take a break. This is sponsored in part by Keystone Pump and Supply, Carlsbad Ford, Domino's Pizza, and Eddy Federal Credit Union. So, Ruben, again, 27-7 after the Cavemen really had a shot at tying things up. It's looking like that really kind of knocked the wind out of their sails. And, of course, Sanders still probably pretty hot about that play that happened to make it 20 points for the Bulldogs. That one was tough.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big momentum swing, like we said, and the Cavemen are just going to have a short memory and go, you know what, we're going to have to get good field position, and we're going to have to score on this drive because we can't get it any worse Oh, there's a short squib kick right there.
Another short one there, and they lit up Ty Young, and that should be a targeting play right there. Easily helmet to helmet. That's an ugly look there for Artesia, but Young got up. He's fine. Looks like he's walking just fine. But it's going to be on the Caveman 35-yard line. That needs to be on the 50-yard line minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an easy targeting call right there.
I know in college, you can do the targeting helmet to helmet, and then they're ejected. Do they do anything?
I don't think so. I think it's probably a warning, if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to get 15 yards on this play. So the Cavemen are going to need to take advantage here. Still 7 minutes on the clock, plenty of time to score, and that would really give a boost to this offense and this defense, of course, giving them a little bit of a breather as well. The lighting system here at Ralph Boyer Stadium looking pretty nice. Blue going up the poles. Nice bright lights here as well. And it looks like they got it to. And by the way, Eloy Lopez back in the game. He hands it off to Brock Wright, who's going to get 8 yards on the run. 2nd and 2 here at the 39-yard line. Sorry, the 41-yard line. 6 minutes, 49 seconds on the clock. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Tate Branch Autoplex, Capitan Energy, and Balderrama Law Firm. He hosted the podcast earlier this week, available on YouTube under All Sports Best. That one was hosted at Lucky Bull Grill and sponsored by J.S. Ward & Son. Here's a pass by Lopez, and he knocks it down. Oh, that's got to be a personal foul there, and it is going to be. So what happened was Lopez threw a pass. It was tipped up, straight up. He's an athlete, so he jumped up and knocked it down so that there's no mistake there, that it'll be an interception. And right after he touched it, play was over. He came and smoked him.
So that's going to be another personal
foul.
So
it's got to be 15 yards here. And the Cavemen, if they score with penalties alone, we'll take it.
Yep, it's
going to be a personal foul, yes. So that's another 15-yarder there.
Well, couldn't Lopez have caught the ball and run with it? Of course,
he could have ran with it, but that's a liability. Why are you going to do, that's what they teach you as well. Like if it gets up in the air, if you drop it on the ground, you don't pick it up and try and run, because that's going to probably do more damage than good unless it's perfect. Yeah. And so they told him, hey, knock those down if you see it tip off. And I'm sure that's something that they've ingrained in them. So I think it was a good call by Lopez, and it ended up being 15 yards for the Cavemen, but not in a desirable way, getting hit like that for sure. So in the shotgun is Lopez. He's got 3 backs with him in the backfield. Castaneda out to the right. Leos way out to the other sideline. And he's going to drop back anyways. Leos is smothered up. It looks like Lopez is going to take this one in and slide. He's going to get to the line of scrimmage. It's going to make it 2nd and 10. So Caveman in what I believe would be a field goal range. This would be a big kick for Annanen, so they're going to need to get, I'd say, at least 5 to 8 yards if they're going to be within range. Obviously, they get 10 yards, they're going to keep rolling. But
I was going to say, I think right now you're in touchdown territory just because of the score. If it was a 1-score game or something, then you take the field goal and you go, you know what, we got to keep driving. But right now, I think we're down enough. We've got to get in the end zone.
5 minutes, 44 seconds. Lopez back in the backfield with Wright. He hands it off to Wright. He's got no space to run, and still he makes room. He's going to get about 3 yards on that play. Good play there by Brock Wright. Tough kid. He's built like a grown man as well. Very strong kid. He did well last year as a sophomore. This year as a junior, he is trying to pick that back up. Had a strong sophomore campaign. 5 minutes, 10 seconds here in the second quarter. Bulldogs lead 27-7 if you're just joining us. 27-7. So here it goes. Eloy Lopez with Brock Wright in the backfield. 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. That's Castaneda. It looks like he's got some space. Will they hit him? No, they're going to go over the top, and that's going to be an interception straight into the arms of number 33, Adel Villa, and he's going to get hit and finally taken down at about the 36-yard line. is where they're going to spot this one. And Artesia, another turnover on a Caveman miscue. That one was straight to the defender. Again, that one was Villa from Artesia, listed as a senior. Artesia, again, another opportunity here to score before the half. And this one is tough to see for the Cavemen. Of course, you come into this game, people ask, can we beat Artesia? Of course, the answer is maybe or yes. Tonight, Artesia trying to put those questions to rest again here on the field. Big difference here in score, 27-7. Artesia with the ball. And based on their past here in this first quarter, it's a solid score.
Yeah, they definitely have the momentum and a big turnover right there.
So here is Warren. Deep pass up the middle. That one's to Houtling, and that's going to be another touchdown. I'm sorry. Yep, that's Eagland. Trent Eagland with the touchdown catch. Derek Warren with a beautiful spiral over top, straight into the end zone, dropped it into his hands. 4 minutes, 33 seconds, Ruben. If we thought they were going to spend time scoring there, they spent 0.
Yeah, they said, you know what, we want the clock for the next possession, so we're going to score on this first play.
So 33-7, Dominguez back to kick. The extra point, here it comes, and it is good again. So 34-7, and the Bulldogs would love nothing more in this rivalry game than to have a running clock.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's going to be something that they're definitely targeting for. So as we prepare for the kickoff from Artesia, the broadcast tonight brought to you in part by True Blue Services, Artesia General Hospital, 4 Elements Oilfield Services, and Eddy County DWI program. We'll be right back. All right, Ruben, one of the biggest things about coming out to a Caveman game is hearing the cannons. That's part of the atmosphere tonight. We've heard it only once. And, of course, that's part of the things that you want to see. What's tough about having Artesia first on the schedule, especially when they've been his last, 5 years?
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Longer, probably.
Longer.
Is that you kind of – it's hard to give a good sample size that way when you have a game like this. You get the fans out here, maybe some students that haven't been out before, and then they're like, So I don't know. It's tough. It's definitely tough. But this one, a kick back into the Caveman's end zone, so it's going to be a touchback there. They'll get this one at the 20-yard line. Ruben, we weren't sure, was Artesia capable of putting a ball that deep into the end zone? They've not really been trying that. They've been trying to get the ball back, and now they're okay with putting it deep.
Yeah, that guy's definitely got a leg, and Cavemen are just going to have some good plays and get down the field and score before the half.
4 minutes, 33 seconds here in the second quarter. We talked to some of the Cavemen this week. Talked to Evan Leos, asked him about, what's the message to the game. He said that they put a lot of work in this offseason and expect to have a team that you can be proud of. And Ruben, I think that Caveman fans can be proud if the Cavemen can get 5 this year. Last year, 4 wins. If the Cavemen can get 5 or more, I think it's a solid year here in Carlsbad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you've got to look to the positive, and so far in this game, Artesia just has done what they wanted on both sides of the ball, and they're just going to have to try to get some momentum going into the half and see what they can do to at least close the gap a little bit.
So a nice little run there by Brock Wright makes it 2nd and 6 here for the Cavemen. Lopez going to keep this one. He's going to get a couple of yards on this play. And that's something that a lot of people dream about. A lot of people get excited about playing under the Friday night lights. And, it's time for that. Cavemen are back. And that's exciting. We want to see, can they score again in this quarter? 2nd and 6. Cavemen need a big play in order to score before the half, that's for sure. Maybe not now, but definitely on this drive. And Lopez catches the snap, bobbles it though. It was a high snap.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but that's the second time that the snap hasn't been on point, and it makes it tough when you've got that defense coming at you and it's not right where you need it.
Exactly. And I believe that Sanders is the center for the Cavemen. That's actually Coach Sanders' son. So just a little bit of a miscommunication on a couple of plays tonight between center and quarterback. 2 minutes, 55 seconds. There's a timeout there for Carlsbad. We're going to be right back here in just a moment, folks. Steel Depot, Energy Pros, and Carlsbad Chevrolet sponsor the show. All right, so guys, couple of updates here in Carlsbad. The Cave Girl soccer team, won their first game of the season against Lovington on Tuesday. They won that 3-0 at the varsity level, which is exciting. And then Cave Girl Volleyball played their first match on Thursday, and that one was a loss in straight sets, unfortunately.
But they will play again tomorrow against Mayfield at 11 and 12. I believe that's the times.
2 minutes, 55 seconds. Lopez under center this time. He hands it off to Wright. Wright gets a breakthrough, keeps going, fighting through. It looks like it is a fumble here. What will it be? He fought through contact, and yep, again, Artesia with the ball off the fumble there. So Wright got the first down, stretched it for about 4 more yards, but right at the end of that play, he was hit to the point where it knocked the ball loose, and Artesia very well might score again before the half, Ruben. 2 minutes, 46 seconds. What do you think?
I feel like they're very well versed in, tackle them, but if you can keep them up long enough, we can get 1 or 2 guys that are just going to pound at the ball. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what happened there because he was running through contact, doing well, and then somebody just knocked it out at the last second before they got him down.
24-7. Warren in the shotgun. Lots of options there. Matter of fact, passed it to number 19, and he pitched it back. Looks like they're going to get about 5 yards on the play. We can hear some of the reactions from Artesia's coaching staff. They were not happy with that play, but it did get about 5 yards on it. Just not what they were looking for. They passed that one to Houtling, and then he pitched it back, and they got about 5 yards on that play. But it looks like it's going to be holding on the – it's going to send this one back. So the Bulldogs will be at 1st and 20 here. First and 20 now for the Bulldogs. So 2 minutes, 38 seconds, plenty of time for this Bulldog offense to make a move here towards the end zone. They did it on one play earlier. Warren fumbles the snap, but picks it up, heads to his own sideline, and he gets knocked out of bounds about a yard short of the line of scrimmage. It's going to make it 2nd and 21. Lots of ground to cover to get to that first down, Ruben.
Yeah, you never can count him out. Even there where he kind of dropped the ball, and it's like he picked it up with so much confidence, like, I'm still going to make a play. You know what I mean? It didn't look like he panicked or got in a hurry. And now he's got a long ways to go, but he's thinking, okay, this will be a
Warren
nice pass.
Dropping back. This is a beautiful spiral over the top. This one's caught by Eagland again. That one about a 9-yard pass. So Artesia, the runners-up in football last year, lost to Roswell at the championship game. They did, however, win a state championship in basketball.
And in baseball.
Yeah.
Good
year for Artesia Athletics. So dropping back is Warren on a screen pass. He's going to get this one off to Bada. This one's going to be a first down. Now out to the 20. Gets knocked down finally at the 15-yard line. 1:40 left on the clock. It looked again like they were maybe going to stop him right around the first down. Then he stretches it out even longer. Artesia really good after the initial contact. They've been able to be strong through that. It's definitely something they've worked on, as you can tell.
Yeah, that looked a little too easy.
So Warren pitches it back. This one, almost a light jog from Bada just to get to contact, and he's going to bring this one to the 5-yard line.
It almost looks
so
like
about
he was
10 yards on that play.
It almost looks like he was tired from the last play, so he's like, you know what? I'm not going to use 100% effort.
It really did look like that.
I'm just going to take my time and get some positive yards. So it's going to be first down, inside the 5, right at the 5-yard line?
So right at the 5-yard line, Warren in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to choose from. He's got some space. Going to put this one in the back corner. It's knocked away. Nice play there. It looks like Bobby Castaneda out there. Yeah, he's playing both sides tonight when they need him in the red zone. They put him out there in big-time moments. Tonight, Cavemen down significantly, 34-7. But they want to get that work in. You might as well, put game situations out there no matter what the score is. You got to get that real game speed out there. Castaneda, a real athlete he's been for the last few years for the Cavemen. So Warren here, 2nd and 5 on the 5-yard line. Oh, and that one is a big hit laid there by Colton McKibben. It looked like a couple of guys on the play there for the Cavemen, but he knocked the helmet off of Jack Byers there. That was a big hit he laid down.
Yeah.
34-7 with 36 seconds left. That's going to take him back a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Wow, what a hit there, Ruben. So we're going to be right back here in just a moment, folks. Stick around. We got more for you here in just a bit. So, guys, we talked about the apocalyptic style vehicle that we saw Coach Sanders come out in this year. I guess he had to go get a new vehicle. Thought maybe a Jeep would be nice in a hot town like Carlsbad, pretty dry air, nice breeze to it. Ended up with one of the most beastly Jeeps that we've ever seen. It is actually something that we talked about on the podcast, and you can see pictures of it on the podcast as well. So go watch that on YouTube. It is something out of this world. You never really see it like that. Okay, 36 seconds. Warren pitches it back. Bada tosses it over the top, and it's going to get into the end zone. Another touchdown with just 30 seconds left for the Bulldogs. And that one was caught by number 86, Trent Eagland. So a big play there into the end zone for Artesia, trick play.
Halfback pass.
It was nice.
Yeah, it looked like he was just going to run the ball, and he just dumped it over into the end zone.
When you do something like that, like early in the game, the first quarter, it's hard for a defense to ever anticipate anything like that. They've been running the ball extremely well tonight, doing what they want, and then, hey, the air game's been outstanding as well. This extra point goes through, and it's going to be 41-7, folks. 41-7. Bulldogs trying to surpass their score from last year. Last year's score 44-7, and the Bulldogs just 3 points away from that. So they're going to get back to kick things off. Folks, we'll be right back. Stick around. All right, so we're getting ready for the halftime show. It's going to be the dance teams all performing out there on the field. Ruben, what I was told was that the football field, they have to have a certain level of like the rubber pellets on the field, right? And so if they check it, they test it, it's not enough. They have to fill it in, and so that's why you see a lot of black marks and like where they dragged the field. That's all the rubber pellets that they. I mean, it almost seemed like too much, but they need to do that in order to like for the safety of the game.
Yeah,
pretty interesting stuff, actually.
Yeah, because it's a rough field, I'm sure, if you don't have enough of those pellets.
Oh yeah,
that's like your soft landing.
Well, the old school AstroTurf stuff they used to have in the pros, you could, if you go back and look at that, it was carpet. It was like the real indoor, rough, hard carpet. Yeah. So imagine getting hit on that. It's like getting pushed or knocked into concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
sure.
This definitely softens the blow, makes it more real. Definitely still not real feeling, but closer.
Well, and they say there's more injuries on turf, right, than natural surface, just in stuff without, like.
Yeah, there's not like natural slipping. It's like you catch unnaturally on the cleat. So 30 seconds on the clock. The Eloy Lopez back in the backfield, in the shotgun, sorry. See if they go ahead and run a play. They do. It's going to be Brock Wright up the middle. He's got space to run. He's going to get about 25 yards on that play. Solid night for Brock Wright, by the way. Probably about 120 yards so far on the ground. What do you think?
Yeah, no, he's got quite a few. We don't have a stat man. Do we have a stat man, Mike? We need to get a stat man or get Mikey on the stats.
11 seconds on the clock. Lopez tries to pass this one off to Castaneda. That one comes up about 8 yards short. I mean, that one straight into the turf, so it must have slipped or just kind of a miscommunication on that route. But 7 seconds remain on the clock. It's 2nd and 10. The Cavemen need a big play here, or it's going to be 41-7 going into the half.
Yeah, big momentum swing when it was 14-7.
That's right, 14-7. It was almost 14-14, and then a strip. I guess a strip 6. We never really hear that very often, but it was exactly that. Here's a handoff to Brock Wright. This one's going to get him about 4 yards on the play, and that's going to do it here in the first half, folks. 41-7. Bulldogs lead by a lot here at Ralph Boyer Stadium. We're going to go into the half, take a break, and be right back here, folks. Sponsored in part by Stevens Inn, Tate Branch Autoplex, and CNB Bank. All right, folks, we're going to take a break and allow the dance, cheer, and bands to play, to do their thing. So, guys, we'll be right back, hoping that we'll get some insight on the halftime. Can we get 10? Caden. 10 minutes, please. Okay.
I'm Brett, and this is my New Mexico. I've always been in New Mexico. It's home for me. I love camping, fishing, being way back up in the mountains. I feel a lot of pride working for Chevron. Lowering carbon intensity is very important in my job. New Mexico really is the land of enchantment. This truly is a magical place. I'm Brett, and this is my New Mexico. I've always been in New Mexico. It's home for me. I love camping, fishing, being way back up in the mountains. I feel a lot of pride working for Chevron. Lowering carbon intensity is very important in my job. New Mexico really is the land of enchantment. This truly is a magical place.
All right, so we got about 6 minutes, 22 seconds on the clock, Ruben. We always talk about what's to be said at the half, and there's really not much to say at this point. 41-7 makes it tough, for Coach Sanders to get his team going. But I think at this point, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your team to get more of that game experience, mix them in, let them know like what it's going to feel like when you're going all 4 quarters, when you're working on, whatever it is that you're working on at your very best. Eloy came out of the game, looked like he was kind of a little bit dazed after getting hit pretty hard, but he came back. So that's a good indication of him being okay. And also, of course, the trainers are not taking any chances. They're going to take the heat from the coaches before they take a chance with anybody's health. So that's another thing that you really admire.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that Colton's been pretty key on defense, but I feel like they're doing so many different things on the field that it's tough to stop the team for sure.
All right, so guys, 5 minutes here on the clock here at the halftime. Cavemen going to try and come out and be a force on offense. They haven't had a chance to really get that rocking too much, but they have looked pretty good in the beginning of the second quarter. They had a chance to score twice. They did score once on those 2 tries, but we haven't seen any challenges or any kind of adversity for the kicking side of things. I thought maybe at this point we'd see a field goal maybe, but when we've gotten close, we either scored or we turned the ball over, and we've turned the ball over a couple times that close.
Yeah, no, it's been tough. It was a tough first half. I feel like they're going to have to come back in the second half and at least put up a good fight to keep it without doing the mercy rule, running the clock thing. You know what I mean? You've got to fight to keep from that happening.
I think the mercy rule is or the running clock is 40 points.
Oh, is it? I thought
Isn't
it was
it
35.
Oh, is it 35?
I thought it was 35.
You might be right.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully we can come back and do something. It's been tough. Like you said, we had that one good drive, and then the other one that looked like it was going to be tying the score with another drive with a turnover that got them, a touchdown on a turnover.
Right.
So that was a big momentum swing.
Well, and I'm looking through like some of the things we were looking forward to. We saw what Eloy Lopez is capable of doing. He's thrown some pretty good passes just kind of here and there, but he's still just kind of struggling to get fully into the groove of things, right, in the passing game. As far as running goes, lots of mobility there, available, a real threat to go side to side and be able to beat a guy, but it's still really tough when lately that's been the main threat, right? When you're seeing him drop back, he's either going to get some yards running or it's going to be a toss up whether or not that pass is going to be caught. So right now, that's something that the Cavemen really want to work on, is a couple of passes without getting too far behind. I mean, it's already been pretty bad. I don't think you got to go into this part of the game with the mentality you got nothing to lose.
Yeah, and Brock, who started out pretty slow because it was like they were keen on every move he made, like, hey, you know what, stop Brock right, and that'll be the key. And it looked like that's what they were going to do the whole game. And he just started, I feel like he got energized and he got stronger as the quarters went on. And
yeah,
like you said, he likes to fight through contact and go, you know what, you're going to have to pull me down with several people to stop
right
me.
Yeah, he's like the Hulk. Like
Yeah.
the madder you get him, the more he's going to gain strength. It's almost like the more time goes by, the more he gains, like you said. We talked to a couple players this week, and one of the things that I thought was pretty cool was Rio Sanchez asked him what his pregame ritual was. He said his pregame ritual was to pray before the game. It helps put him at ease as game time approaches. That's what he's doing in the locker room, where a lot of guys, they're listening to music and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool to put that out there. And that's something that's important to him. And obviously you come out onto a football field at whatever level, every single game you go out there, you're just hoping everybody comes out healthy and safe. And you know what I mean? That kind of thing too. So on top of winning, you want to be able to come out of there fine.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good thing.
Colton McKibben ranked number 1 in the state according to Max Preps. Last year, he racked up 95 tackles, 11.5 tackles for a loss, and 2.5 sacks last year. Like I said, rated number 1 in the state according to Max Preps. They did an article that was the number 1 player in all 50 states. He was the guy for New Mexico. I mean, what we've seen so far, when he gets a hold of somebody, it is something that I think as anybody in the stadium is going to go, is that kid all right? He's hitting guys hard tonight, and when he's able to get somebody on his side, he's going to take advantage of that. Obviously, with his speed, he's able to get anywhere on the field, and he's going to have an impact on most plays.
Well, the thing that he reminds me of the most right now, just you talking about Colton, is Shane Andrews. Those of you that have been, around Carlsbad sports for a while know the name Shane Andrews. And when he played on this field, he was a force. I remember on defense, he would light people up. One time he hit a guy from Pecos that it looked like the guy wasn't going to get up. I mean, he just went down and he just stood over him. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he got up, but it got up really slow. And that's kind of, that you've seen Shane, how he's a big guy. And I mean, he wasn't built like Colton, but he was a big, strong, three-sport athlete for sure.
Huge. Yeah. So the Cavemen running out now from the locker room, and this time kind of a slower jog, Ruben. I mean, we saw him come out the first right before the game. That's a sprint, all of that stuff, lots of energy. Right now, not a lot of energy. And, we would hope that maybe coach had said, hey, you don't need to be doing all that sprinting. Just kind of get out there, get loose. You don't want to hurt anything and, sprint and get hurt running out there. Hopefully that's kind of the mentality there, because the energy didn't feel like it was.
Well, to me, I feel like usually they get out here early enough to where they do a couple of little sideline jogs and some, like line stuff. But it looks like they're just ready to get on the field and start the second half. So I guess either do you think they do that in the locker room, or?
It's very likely. I mean, the amount of space that they have at the field house is tremendously different than it was before in the old field house. And then, of course, when they were out in these tents in the portables and stuff like that. So now you can fit, I'd say probably, if you're doing lines on the turf in the field house, I'd say back and forth, you could probably fit about 30 kids wide. So if you have, 2 or 3 lines of that, just kind of doing high knees, butt kickers, things like that, you can get a warm up in that way. So I don't know. We'll definitely have to ask that on the next podcast.
Would that be in the baseball area where they do the batting cages, or is there a different area?
It's a multi-purpose. So they do like drills, and they can push what do you call it?
Sleds.
Yeah, sleds and things like that. So you can pull up the cages and make it just one solid room, and you can do that. Of course, the field house is very big, and so they can do some stretching or whatever they got to do throughout the weight room as well.
I feel like they must do that to be able to just come out here and go, okay, we're ready to play.
41-7.
I might try to look up some other scores.
All right, so we're going to get ready for kickoff. It shows 45 seconds left on the clock as we get prepared for that. 41-7. We've got Castañeda and Leos back for the Cavemen as Dominguez prepares to kick things off. The pep rally today, Ruben, was live. An interesting take on the pep rally. It's after second hour, which has been a couple years now. I guess it's to kind of retain more kids, you know, because if you got it at the end of the day, kids are like, oh, it's a pep rally, I can just leave kind of thing. So that's kind of the hope there, and that's the thought. It is like different and weird in terms of time, but in terms of energy, it was all there. It was really cool to see. I think the lights add a lot of effect to that.
Yeah, I think back in the day, they'd do it, like you said, at the end of the day, and maybe people would check out because it's like, oh, it's just a pep rally, I'm just going to go home. And so now if it's early in the day, they're going to still have to go to all their classes. So it makes more sense.
All right, there's a line drive. That one's straight at Ty Young, and Colton McKibben jumps on it. So it's going to be Caveman ball at about the 37-yard line. Caveman got to come out here with good energy. They've got to be on top of things on offense. They have shown some signs of some flashes of brilliance. We've seen some good things, definitely within the run game. Brock Wright's solid. Eloy Lopez can definitely move, and he's elusive. But the Cavemen have not been able to really put together a solid drive outside of that first score that happened right at the beginning of the second quarter. Did a pretty good job there. But penalties have also been on their side as well.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see how it goes right here.
Lopez awaiting the snap in the shotgun. He hands it off to Brock Wright. This one is going to be about another 6-yard carry. Wright has been really consistently good for the Cavemen.
Yeah, so Brock Wright is the brother of Hazen Wright, baseball player. Those of you that don't know, he played 1 year in MSU, pitcher. Very big kid and very, very good baseball player.
Hard-throwing pitcher, was one of the top pitchers for New Mexico State at the D1 level. That is impressive. 11 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. Lopez turns and hands it off to Wright again. This is going to get him a first down. He runs the ball hard. He is not afraid of contact. And if you go up and shake Brock Wright's hand, you'd be like, okay, yeah, this is the kid that's running through guys. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big kid. So first down here for the Cavemen, and a good start to this drive. Artesia putting a really good product out on the field this year. And, you know, when you talk to some coaches, ask them how their team was going to be, they said this year Artesia is supposed to be better than last year. And I thought, could it be? Is there any way? And it's looking like it might be. A nice run there by Brock Wright. Looked like he was down around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Almost kind of took my eyes off the play a little bit, and then you kind of focus back in. He's got about 9 yards on that play.
Yeah, I feel like that's the kind of plays that the Artesia Bulldogs like to run because they want to just try to strip the ball. But if he's strong and he can hold on to it and keep moving his feet, then that's the kind of stuff that happens.
They have been able to strip him for a fumble in the game once today, so it's not out of the question. It's something that he'll learn from for sure going forward. But right now he's kind of limping off the field. Looks like it might be a back issue. He went down off the sideline, and that's Brock Wright. So we're hoping that he's okay. Eloy Lopez in the shotgun, running back next to him, and he's going to take this one himself. About 3 yards on that play. The running back that's taking the place of Wright right now is number 10, Steven Lades, a junior running back for the Cavemen. So Lades, he faked the handoff to him, and Lopez got 3 yards on the play. So 2nd and 7 on the 37-yard line. Carlsbad approaching what could be field goal range. And at this point, if you're on the opposing team's side of the field with a score like this, I think you go for it on any down. Lopez scrambles out to his right, looks to pass down deep. This one's going to go to Gasaneda, and it's going to be way short, probably about 4 yards short, but it looks like it's going to be a interference play, possibly. They got a flag on the play. Gasaneda's down on the sideline, hoping he's all right. No real indication as to what is causing him issues. He got up now. He's walking back now, jogging back.
But he's moving pretty slow still.
Yeah, and it looks like he's retreating back to the sideline. Starting to stay off on this play. No call here. Yes, and it's going to be interference on Artesia. So that will give the Cavemen the first down.
Move him inside the 20-yard line.
9 minutes, 14 seconds. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the Artesia 23-yard line. This was where the Cavemen were in the second quarter when it was 14-7. We were thinking there's a good chance they could score. And the ball was stripped and taken the other way for a touchdown. Lopez hands it off. Nice little run there for about 4 yards by number 10, Steven Lades, getting his first couple of carries of first carry of the game. Pretty good play there. So 2nd and 6. 8 minutes 50 seconds on the clock. Gasaneda got the play from coach, and he's jogging it over to the huddle.
Looks like Wright is moving a little bit more on the sideline, but now it looks like he's going to get checked out a little bit more from the trainers.
And he's just kind of trying to pop his back, it looks like, on the bench. A little bit of movement. That's a good sign for sure. And here's Lopez. Looks like the play was broken. He went to toss it possibly to his right, and Lades took off. So it might have been a miscommunication maybe, or somebody was off on that play because it was definitely a point of confusion there. 8 minutes, 10 seconds. Bulldogs lead 41-7. Lopez coming off the field for this one on a 3rd and 8. So it might look like Marley Munoz is going to be in for the Cavemen at quarterback, as we saw Lopez pop off the field. And it is, in fact, going to be Munoz. Munoz built very athletic. I was told that the battle between the two at the quarterback position was close. Both of them athletic, both of them mobile. It's going to be a penalty here. I believe that was a delay of game.
Yeah.
So 7 minutes, 30 seconds, 41-7. Caveman putting the ball in Munoz's hands. He's going to scramble out, and it looks like he's going to get taken down well before the original line of scrimmage, and a fumble there. But number 4, Evan Leos, goes and jumps on it, and that's going to be a huge loss for the Cavemen unless they spot this one at the point of contact. And it looks like he was down before the ball was taken out. 7 minutes, 6 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter, 41-7. So the Cavemen have not allowed in this third quarter the Bulldogs to score. Used a lot of this clock offensively.
Looks like they're going to kick a field goal.
So Lennon Annanens Going to try and put this one across. It's going to be a 43-yard kick. Pretty deep kick there, Ruben, for the high school level.
Yeah.
Here it is, and it looks like it's going to have enough behind it, but is it going to go? And it is. Big leg there from Lennon Annanens, 43 yards against Artesia. That's going to make it 10 points for the Cavemen, 41-10. And that's impressive to see. Of course, excited to see what the possibilities would be in a game that's close, within, a couple of points in a big-time situation. Can Annanens prove himself and do those types of things and give the Cavemen more versatility offensively? I mean, if you have a guy, especially at the high school level, you don't see it often, where you can trust a guy to kick a 40-yard field goal in crunch time.
Oh, for sure. And right now it's like, you know what? We're just trying to do what we can to put points on the board. And if it'll help us, like you said, in a close game and a matchup that you're one score away, you might be able to use that and be positive on plays like that.
Exactly. And I mean, it's something to be excited about for sure. Guys, we're going to be right back on radio here in just a moment. This game sponsored in part by Genesis Endeavors, La Tienda Thriftway, and Capitan Energy. Okay, 6 minutes, 33 seconds. So Cavemen prepared to kick things off again to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs with one man in the very back, 5 yards off the end zone. Annanens to kick things off, 6 minutes, 33 seconds. Ball in the air. Artesia again going to run the starburst as they do. Hand it off to Para. Para at the 20-yard line now. 25. They're going to take him down around the 27-yard line. Not a bad little return there. And Artesia has never found a reason to not do that starburst return, Ruben. I mean, if it works, why would you not continue doing it? Oddly enough, nobody else really does it. Nobody else really tries it. They see how well it works for Artesia, and nobody does it.
Yeah, you definitely don't see it very often, but I feel like you almost want to kick it a little shorter than that. But unless they run it back for a touchdown, I guess it's not that great a field position to be inside the 30. There's a fumble.
All right, is it going to be Caveman ball? We're going to see here.
They're indicating it is.
And it looks like it is. Caveman.
That's huge.
Might see a nice little swing their way. It's going to be Caveman ball on the 23-yard line. That's huge right there, Ruben.
Oh, for sure. If they can get a momentum swing, maybe get in the end zone here in this quarter, then at least they can feel like they can chip at that lead.
Yeah, you're looking at what can be some confidence at this point, right, for the Cavemen.
Yeah.
They can score here. That's big. You want to be able to look back and go, hey, these are the miscues. This is what we improve on. And it's always fun to say, hey, we win that game if these three things happen differently, right? But, I mean, if you can look at it and go, hey, we clean these things up, it's hard. It's going to be hard to beat us by any team.
Yeah, that's right.
6 minutes, 21 seconds. Lopez has three backs in the backfield with him. 7 seconds on the play clock here. He gets the snap, looks up for a nice spiral in the end zone, almost caught by Bobby Castañeda. Not able to bring that one down.
I feel like the ball was just a little bit underthrown, that he was kind of having to come back to it, and that
right,
but gave the advantage to the defense.
Yeah, that was a jump ball for sure, and just a bit out of reach. Luckily, was not intercepted. 6 minutes, 16 seconds. It's 2nd and 10 on the 23-yard line. 2nd and 10 now for the Cavemen. And Bobby coming off the field here. Second and 10.
They've got three in the backfield with quarterback again.
Lopez hands it off to Wright, who's back in this game, and he's going to get about 7 yards there. No surprise. Solid run there for the big junior on the Cavemen.
Well, it's good to see that he's okay and that he can run that football.
Right, exactly. So If you're just joining us, Brock Wright, star running back for the Cavemen, came off the field, looked like he was hurt, mostly looked like a back injury of some sort, and he stretched it out, worked on things with the trainer, popped his back and everything, and got out there. So some good enough treatment to get 7 yards on his first carry back. 41-10, the Bulldogs lead with 5 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock, 19 seconds on the play clock, and the Cavemen still in their huddle. 15 seconds now on that play clock.
They're sure taking their time with 5 seconds left.
5 minutes, 32 seconds, 2 seconds on the clock. They get the snap off, the fake handoff, and the pass. Nicely done. This is going to get a first down for the Cavemen. Almost in the end zone, just a yard short. That one, a pass to number 2, R.J. Hernandez. Last year, Ruben, we heard R.J. Hernandez's name a lot. This is the first time I think he's caught a pass tonight.
Yeah, for sure. He looked good on that one and made some run after the catch.
You can imagine this ball is going to Brock Wright. No, Lopez going to have this one. He's going to walk it into the end zone. There's another score for the Cavemen on back-to-back possessions, a field goal and now a touchdown. So 9 points in this quarter. Cavemen leading this quarter 9-0 right now. Artesia has not scored in the third quarter, makes it 41-16.
It'd be a lot nicer if it was the first quarter, Trey. 9-0.
So Eloy Lopez catches this one, places it down, and Annanen strikes it up just right. It's going to be another extra point for the Cavemen. 41-17. Cavemen getting some life here. And the Caveman fans sticking around nicely here in the and a nice at that now 85 degrees here at Ralph Boyer Stadium.
Yeah, with that breeze blowing a little bit, it doesn't feel as bad as it did earlier
right.
when sun was shining.
Signed by R.J. Hernandez and Eloy Lopez. Leave the tops of Section A, and we'll give you a prize. Unfortunately, we can't do it like we did last year. You can't get up here. Also, whoever lost the key fob.
Okay, looks like.
All right, we've got that taken care of. Again.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break and be right back here in just a moment. This game brought to you in part by P&R Enterprises, Carlsbad Community Anti-Drug and Gang Coalition, and A.R. Foreman Construction. So 5 minutes and 6 seconds remain here in the third quarter. Cavemen looking like a whole different team, Ruben, in the second half.
Yeah, I don't know if they just came out with a little more confidence or they thought, you know what, we're down by a lot. Let's just do what we can to stay in this game and go from there.
All right, so here it goes. 5 minutes and 6 seconds. And that's going to be Artesia ball. Carlsbad put a squib kick together. It's going to put Artesia, and we're going to see where they spot it here.
I guess as a coaching staff, you have to say, you know what, we got to get the momentum swing a little more than what we've gotten so far because we're down by so much that, hey, if we can kick an onside kick and get the ball back, maybe we can score 3 possessions in a row.
41-17, and Artesia in great field position yet again, dangerous there. If you're a Caveman fan, and they get this pass off to number 88, Jack Byers. A nice pass there for number 12, Derek Warren. Warren has been really good at the quarterback position tonight for the Bulldogs. He has been nearly flawless in the air, Ruben. I mean, if there's an incomplete pass, it's likely going to still give a chance to the offense when he puts it up in the air.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's their system that it's that good that whoever they plug into this in key positions that they just do so well.
Warren drops back. He's going to get this pass, trying to get that one over to number 10, Jet Fuentes, a senior for the Bulldogs. This one goes right through his hands. And luckily for Artesia, no Carlsbad defenders right behind him, or that would have been a toss-up on a possible interception. However, nobody within range of catching that one. If you guys haven't had a chance yet, go check out the All Sports Best podcast with Coach Sanders. Coach Sanders came on and told us all about this team, what they've been doing, some of the changes that they've made, and and plenty more available on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Here's the snap, and the shotgun is Warren. Warren scrambling out to his right. He's going to look to throw on the run. Nice spiral right into the hands of the receiver, but he gets rocked as soon as that ball hits his hands. Looked like that was intended for number 19, Kale Houtling, and he got absolutely lit up as soon as that ball touched his hands. That ball might have, sniffed his hands before he got hit. It was right
at the right time.
At perfect timing, because no flag on the play. It was a clean play, hard hit, and it's going to make it 4th and 6 on the 48-yard line. Artesia, of course, going to go for it, but if the Cavemen can get a stop here, it's going to be tough on that Caveman defense. But if they can get a stop here, Cavemen can continue to build that confidence going into the end of the third and beginning of the fourth quarter. And here, Artesia going to call a timeout. Cavemen going to call a timeout here, try and get something maybe adjusted to this Artesia. Guys, we're going to be right back here in just a moment. Stick around. We got more for you. This break brought to you by Stevens Inn, Tate Branch Autoplex, CNB Bank. All right, so 4 minutes, 21 seconds here in the timeout, Ruben. We've seen a lot of good things in the second half. We talked about it a little bit at the halftime, like, what can you really say at the half? You're down 41-7, energy's down, all of this stuff. I don't know what he said, but something was said in the locker room that turned things around. The Cavemen have scored 9 points to an unanswered 10 points in the second half, and Artesia has just, continued to give the ball to the Cavemen. Right here, Cavemen trying to make that happen once again. 4th and 6 on the 48-yard line. Warren pitches it back. Looks like there's some space for Para, and he's going to get a first down on that one. I don't know what happened on that play, Ruben. Maybe Para act like he was going to throw it because Gasaneda jumped. He was a good 4 or 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and he still was able to get that fake off.
Yeah, that's all. That's all you have to do is put it in their mind a little bit, like they're going to pass, and then it maybe makes them stand back just a hair, just enough to get that first down yardage.
Yeah, it's just a savvy move there on the fake pass. Whether you can throw it or not, you can always fake it, and that definitely made a difference on that play right there. Difference between a first down and getting stopped. So Warren's going to hand this one off to Para with about a yard gain there. 4 minutes, 8 seconds remain here in the third quarter. The Caveman defense had their opportunity there to give the ball back to the offense, just slipped through their fingers.
Yeah, that's a huge momentum swing, and it's running a lot of clock for Artesia.
One of the big key members on this team this year, according to Coach Sanders, Cowboy Vargas, who's been on this team. He's gotten varsity time all 4 years of his high school career, which is hard to do. And he has continued to be a rock in this Caveman roster. So here's Warren stepping up. He gets hit hard, but not before getting the pass off to Para. Probably another 4 or 5 yard gain there. Nicely done. Caveman got a hold of him, but not in time. Just about a second too late, if that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like there's been several plays where it's just a split second difference from them getting the playoff or them getting a sack or maybe a fumble or a turnover.
Right.
And they just happen to get it off at the right time.
41-17 if you're just joining us. The third quarter, 2 minutes, 55 seconds here on the clock. Ruben, we've seen some rebranding throughout the Caveman program, Caveman and Cave Girls, some different logos, some alternates, and some helmet changes as well. Here's a handoff to Para yet again. This is a first down easily and possibly a touchdown as he gets to the 5 yard line. They take him down, but no, they're going to say he got out of bounds just before, and they're going to change their mind. That's going to be a touchdown there by the second opinion on the ref closest to the sideline. It's a touchdown, 47-17. Bulldogs get another score onto the scoreboard here in the third quarter. So Cavemen were looking good. 10 unanswered points, but Artesia did not let them stick around for too long. They have scored in each of the 3 quarters so far, and Dominguez is back to kick the extra point. Here's the snap, the kick, and it is good yet again. So 48-17, a 31-point lead for the Bulldogs. This was a runner-up squad last year at the state level for Artesia, just a division below the Cavemen in 5A. In football, it goes up as high as 6A. In other sports, it goes up as high as 5A. Why? Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I was going to say it's strange how you can do it in different sports, but Artesia has 28, I believe, state championships,
Wow.
which is huge. Most in any.
2 minutes, 35 seconds.
Bulldogs 49, Mayfield Trojans 0.
So 48-17. Artesia preparing to kick things off yet again. The air attack for Artesia has been steady without a doubt, but their run game, Ruben, has been just as good. I mean, this is a multi-weapon offense that is going to be hard to stop this year at any level.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when you can do all things from every
Yeah.
level, it makes it tough to stop because you can't key on one thing.
That right there was received by Ian Wilson, a sophomore wide receiver for the Cavemen, and he got a couple of yards and slipped on the turf and fell. So it's going to be Caveman ball on the 31-yard line. So 2 minutes, 33 seconds left in the third quarter. It's been a long third quarter. 3 scorers combined in the third quarter. So a little bit of a breeze like you talked about. It's going to feel nice on the field for sure. 85 degrees according to the weather app, but feels a little nicer than that. Here's Eloy Lopez, who hands it off to Brock Wright. Wright able to get about 6 yards. And if you get anything from this game, Ruben, it's Brock Wright's stats. It's going to be impressive.
Oh, for sure. If he keeps running like this, he'll have 200-plus yards on the ground, and that's tough to do when they know that 80% of the time that's where the ball's going.
Right. You key in on a guy like that, and he's still able to get yards. It's definitely something to think about for sure. Guys, we're going to be right back. Stick around. We got more for you on this timeout. This break brought to you by Eddy County HR, Triple T's Linings, Devon Energy, and BES Supply Store. Minimum. 2 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock, 48-17. Caveman still discussing things, but it's 2 seconds left on the play clock. This is going to be close, and they do get the snap off. No whistle on the play, and that's going to be Brock Wright getting it to the first down territory. And, I mean, I don't know. We've talked about a lot of guys tonight. We've said Warren a lot. We've said Para a lot as well. I think maybe Wright has been said the most. He's gotten the most touches of anybody on the field tonight, and he's been definitely taking advantage. This is a running game that is definitely impressive, Ruben. If they can put together the game in the air, the Cavemen can be dangerous, a dangerous team this year. Hopefully a better record than last year. Here's a nice pass there from Lopez. That one's going to get about 8 yards on that play from number 2, R.J. Hernandez. R.J. Hernandez getting into the mix of things.
Yeah, he's finally getting back into the draw. I don't know if he was further down on the last year or what happened, or maybe he wasn't practicing for the last, you know what I mean? Maybe he was coming off injury. I don't know, but yeah, you can tell he's solid when he gets the ball.
So a couple of weapons in the air. Then last year, Ruben, we had talked about how good he had done because teams started to go, there's no way we're letting Bobby Castañeda beat us. And so R.J. Hernandez was right there. Cason Perez did a good job last year in the air, and he got more and more comfortable throughout the year. Eloy Lopez is going to be really good this year, I think, as well.
Yeah. Well, Casey,
and here's Lopez again moving around. He's going to try and get away from the sack, but no, he's taken down. Pretty big play there.
Yeah, for sure.
From number 59 for Artesia. Number 59 is Ivan Chavez, a junior for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it stinks when you get a 10-yard loss like that, but at the same time, if let's say he hurries and just throws it and then it's a, interception and it's a turnover, so at least you live to play another down and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, you got to put things into perspective, and that's one of the toughest things I think as a quarterback too is like I can see the hope, but I know coach told me that this is the smarter move, and you have to go with the smarter move because like you said, the upside's there, but it's not as big as the risk. The risk is tremendous, especially against a defense like this, and that's got to be delay of game. No, they're not going to call it. Wow. So just got the snap off before the delay of game there for the Cavemen, and Lopez overthrew Brock Wright, who was wide open. 24 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. 4th and 9. Well out of field goal range for anybody in this entire world. So that's not going to be the case here for the Cavemen. They're going to punt things off. Punting for the Cavemen tonight has been Evan Leos. He's had a couple of good ones. One looked like it was a decent one, and then it bounced perfectly, became a really good one. And here comes another punt from Leos. He's going to punt this one to the left side towards the Artesia bench, and pretty solid punt there.
Yeah.
I mean, caught in the air at the 30-yard line. I'd say that was what? A good solid
50 yards?
35
40?
yards?
Yeah. Maybe
19 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. So Artesia going to try and get maybe a first down before the end of the third quarter to be in a good position in the fourth. I think, honestly, Ruben, looking at this game, obviously you see this score, 48-17. You think, wow, big difference. But what I'm seeing here, a lot of really positive things from the Cavemen in the second half. The first half might have been harder to see that after the couple of turnovers, after the penalties. But the second half, I've seen a lot of things that you can tell there were adjustments made and athletes out there on the field for the Cavemen. Not just guys saying yes, but guys that have made some adjustments of their own as well.
Well, I think what you have to look at is, hey, are we going to quit in the second half because we're down by so much, or are we going to keep fighting and try to get back in this game and at least make a good showing and show that we belong out here? And I feel like that's what they've done so far.
So that's going to do it for the end of the third quarter, folks. We're heading into the fourth quarter, 48-17. Bulldogs lead, and we'll have about a minute break in between. So, guys, we're going to be right back. Stick around. We got more for you. This break brought to you by The Laundry Basket, B&B Welding, and Excel Energy. All right, guys. Well, if you're watching on the video feed, we appreciate you guys for sticking around with us here in this game. A lot of positive things in this game. The Cavemen have lots to look forward to as well. All right, guys. Welcome back to Carlsbad Radio right here at Ralph Boyer Stadium. The Cavemen taking on the Artesia Bulldogs. Nice light show, nice video board with the Cavemen. Having a hard time tonight with the Bulldogs, who have been so good for so long. And here is a first play for the Bulldogs here in the. They're going to get a couple of yards on that play. Bringing it back to the original line. 3rd and 10 on the 30-yard line. Cavemen wanting to kick off the fourth quarter in a big way, so defensive stop here would do just that.
So Leighton Whitmire was the guy that received that ball right there, and that's a name that's an Artesia name that you hear a lot of Whitmires in the system over the last 15 years or so.
11 minutes 20 seconds, and this one tipped away. Good defense there from Rio Sanchez. Rio Sanchez in his third year of varsity starter, but it's going to be a flag on the play. So we're going to see what the call is here. It's going to be, I think, personal foul, roughing the passer there, 10 yards, 15-yard penalty there, and that's going to be huge against the Caveman defense. So it's going to be on the 45-yard line. Artesia moves the ball up and much better position to, waste some more time in the fourth quarter and capitalize on what the Caveman mistakes have been tonight. So in the backfield now, not the original starting quarterback in Warren, but number 15, Lucas Atkins. He dumps one off. This one's going to be caught and taken for about 7 yards by number 26, Ray Cano. Ray Cano, a senior, and Lucas Atkins, a junior. So likely the starting quarterback for the Bulldogs next year after Warren graduates. It's going to be a referee's timeout now. An injury timeout. Not sure where that is. Oh, it looks like it's a Caveman player right here on the sideline. And not good news. Looks like it's Colton McKibben. And his helmet is off, so not sure what happened there. But he's kind of limping off here. A tough kid. So he'll likely be out there again soon if he can. He's getting some water, and they're letting him get some extra rest on the sideline, but that's not somebody you want to see go down on game one, that's for sure. 10 minutes, 50 seconds here in the fourth quarter. Taking the snap is number 15, Lucas Atkins. He hands the ball off once again, and that's a big hit there on number 26, Ray Cano. Looked like a big hit there by Augustine Venegas and in part by number 46, Juan Rubio, also got in there. Pretty hard hit there by the Caveman defense.
Yeah, see, that's one thing that Artesia does offensively or even defensively is they bring in their second string for in cases like this where you never know what's going to happen later on in the season and give them some experience.
Exactly. And there's a sack there. Nice play by what I believe is number 36 this time. Number 36 for the Cavemen is Trey Barta, a sophomore linebacker for the Cavemen. Lots of good things when you see a sophomore out there. This is another kid that's built. He's built similarly to Brock Wright, a big kid, a freshman last year that they talked about a potential of him maybe moving up just to see if he could make it work. Obviously, he has done everything right in the preseason. He is a big kid, and he's out there as a sophomore doing big things. The Cavemen have had a knack lately of finding sophomore studs.
Yeah.
Brock Wright was one of them. Colton McKibben, now Trey Barta. Bobby Castaneda was a name too. Coming out as a sophomore, doing big things. 9 minutes, 8 seconds here in the fourth quarter, 48-17. Looks like the referee is going to stop things here, and it's a delay of game on Artesia. They're going to move this back 5 yards. So Artesia.
Corbin Dominguez looks like he's doing the punting duties. This is the first punt, isn't it?
I think it is their first punt for Artesia. It's 4th and 15. Here's a punt. Almost got blocked just a second too late. The Caveman defense, and this one's going to bounce and end up stopping at the Caveman's 32-yard line. 8 minutes, 55 seconds. Caveman down 31 points. Ruben, our assumption, I think maybe based on last year, 35-point differential leads to a running clock. So Cavemen want to get a score here, stay away from that possibility. I think if anything else, it's kind of just you don't want to give that extra edge to the other team, especially a rival, especially, the bragging rights they get that comes with it. Yeah. I got to give a big shout out to the Caveman mascot. That's got to be tough all night long, about 90 degrees on average tonight. Yikes.
I guess you'd have to interview him or talk to him, but I thought it was like air cooled or something, because I feel like if it's not, you could pass out in that thing.
I think they got to take breaks. I think they've got to find I think they go and find somewhere to take the helmet off, because that's crazy. But here's another carry there by Eloy Lopez. He gets hit pretty hard there, a couple of yards in. So it's going to be a 2nd and 8 situation here for the Cavemen on their own 34-yard line. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Intrepid Potash, Wendy's, Western Commerce Bank, and R360 Environmental Solutions. We've seen some good things offensively and defensively for the Cavemen. Obviously, a lot of things to work on as well. Penalties, probably the biggest one in that category. But 8 minutes, 10 seconds. Lopez hands it off to Wright. Wright's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage and taken back. They drove him back. Lots of white jerseys and orange helmets swarming Wright as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's one thing with Wright. You've got to gang tackle him. And I think right there you go, you know what, if we can get 5 or 6 guys to pull on him, he's going to go down.
Yeah, it is what it takes sometimes. 7 minutes, 40 seconds, 22 seconds on the play clock as Lopez and the Cavemen return to the line of scrimmage. Lopez in the backfield with Wright. 2 wide receivers on either side of the line here. And Lopez dropping back in the pocket. Lets this one rock, and this was a little bit short here. Intended for RJ Hernandez. So, Ruben, that's been one thing. Maybe it's game speed that switches up a little bit. Lopez has been short on a lot of his throws tonight. I mean, we're talking about maybe anywhere from 3 to 5 yards short. And so it's just an adjustment that needs to be made. He's an athlete. I believe that adjustment will be made.
Yeah, and I think, too, looking at film, you can go, you know what, he's throwing off his back foot instead of stepping into it. He's getting tired towards the end of the game. You know what I mean? Some of the things, and when he's doing it. So I guess those are tendencies they're going to have to adjust with him.
Exactly. And with the amount of analytics that goes into sports today, a lot of things can be changed. Here's a nice pass to Castaneda. He didn't miss this one, and it's going to be a first down for the Cavemen. So nice play there by Castaneda and a nice pass by Lopez. So they might look to see if they can find some of his sweet spots right there. A nice curl by Castaneda and ended up hitting him in the chest. There's one to Brock Wright, and he didn't even get a step after catching that ball. He got rocked a little bit by number 33 for the Bulldogs. That's Adel Villa.
Yeah, so for those of you listening, next week we'll be back at home against Goddard, same time, 7 p.m., August 29th.
That's right. The Rockets is going to be our next opponent here at Ralph Boyer Stadium. Pretty great atmosphere here, I have to say.
Yeah.
6 minutes, 22 seconds. Eloy back to pass yet again. Lots of time here. Good blocking here by the Caveman offensive line. He ends up throwing this one out of bounds as he's getting taken down. And it looks like a flag late on the play. Maybe a roughing the passer because it was so late.
Yeah, I don't think
I can't imagine it would be. I would imagine it wouldn't be. It was such a late call, but we'll see.
And he was out of the pocket, so.
Well, but he was all. Yeah, that's true.
There was nobody in the area, but still, I feel like he was out of the pocket, so he could pretty much throw it away. But I don't know. That's what they're saying.
All right, roughing the passer. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Intentional grounding. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that is a part of that as well. It has to get back to the line of scrimmage. So if there's nobody around but the ball's too far back, when you throw it, it's still going to be intentional grounding. And on that particular play, that was the case. 6 minutes, 9 seconds here left in the fourth quarter. Caveman trying to put together a drive, but it's going to be hard to do with 3rd and 32. They're going to need a deep pass or some kind of big clutch play. So lots of changes going on in Carlsbad, by the way, Ruben. We saw that they put video boards at all the major places here. Athletically, football, basketball, baseball, and softball. Here's a deep pass by Lopez. This one way short again. That one looked like it was intended for, I believe, Jaden Harper. So Harper, first time we've called his name tonight, a wide receiver that is listed as a junior. Maybe someone we'll see more and more throughout the season. 6 minutes, 4 seconds on the clock here. 4th and 32, so without a doubt the Cavemen going to punt here. And Leos going to hope for a good bounce on this one. Don't want to see Artesia score again before the end of the game. Right now, as it stands, Cavemen put up a little better of a fight than they did last year. Last year, 44-7. This year, 48-17. Pretty dang good punt. I mean, he's got a nice punt ability here for the Cavemen. We've seen last year, I think they went through a couple of different punters to see who would make it really work, and it was something that they struggled with. Leos looks like he's got it down pretty good, but he's holding his hamstring, and that's not a good look either.
No, it's
not a good thing to see.
Hopefully that'll be the last punt of the game, at least for him. But yeah, he definitely has a good punt.
5 minutes, 59 seconds. Fourth quarter. Cavemen down 31 points right now.
Please take it to a security person here at the stadium, preferably right here in the middle of the sections.
So 8 seconds on the play clock here. Artesia still with their backup quarterback in the game, number 15, Lucas Atkins. 5 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a tackle for a loss there on the pitch. It's going to make it 2nd and 14 on the 43-yard line. It still blows my mind the amount of technology that's in the game today. I mean, we talk about how much AI, becomes a part of our lives and computers and phones and iPads, all the things. But I mean, if you would have said whenever I was in high school, like, oh yeah, they're going to have video boards on the scoreboard, they're going to have monitors on the sidelines to look at plays, to watch plays back from just moments ago. In the weight room, they're going to put screens at every weight rack. I would probably tell you there's no way.
Yeah.
And there's another tackle for a slight loss there. It was a short pass completed to number 80. Number 80, Destin Pacheco, a junior for Artesia. And with the amount of kids that go out for Artesia, it's almost like if you are a junior, you're still developing in the program. And it's just mind-blowing to think that, because at almost any other level, especially in other sports, basketball, who has a much smaller, amount of players on the court at one time, and you'll likely see at a lot of programs, hey, or maybe, but juniors in a whole football team, and it's not that often. It's crazy. So there's another pitch there. This one goes to number 87, not listed on the roster here on what we were given. Let's see if Max Preps has it. Number 87, Tyler Eagland. So Trent Eagland's brother. He got a couple of yards on that play on the pitch, and it's going to make it 3rd and 14 on the 43-yard line. 3 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock here in the fourth quarter. If you're just joining us, Bulldogs lead 48-17. 48-17. 31-point lead. The Bulldogs continue to make it tough on the Cavemen, and they have not scored much here in the second half. A total of 7 points in the entire second half, after a 41-point performance in the first half. There's a punt there from Artesia, and this one is going to be placed on the 12-yard line. So Carlsbad, with their hands full with just 3 minutes and 15 seconds, going to have to go to length of the field. Guys, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. This break brought to you by Pizza Inn. Easy Rentals, Skeen Furniture, and Southeast Ready Mix. Three minutes, 15 seconds here on the clock, folks, and Cavemen are going to take over. Ruben, what is the number one thing you want to see the Cavemen improve on going forward?
I think what they have to do is improve on consistency, get more. I mean, Brock's already solid. Shorter passes.
Hey, guys, you're back on Carlsbad Radio. Welcome back on 96.3 FM. Trey and Ruben of All Sports Best here on the radio. Ruben, what would you say the Cavemen need to improve on going forward?
I think they need to improve on consistency with Eloy Lopez making better attempts at his passes, maybe not going as deep, some shorter passes, and get him in rhythm and be a little bit more consistent on defense.
Yeah. That's a big deal. I mean, we've seen how consistent they've been on the ground. It's just a matter of getting the game in the air going, and we know what he's capable of. We've seen him be a starting stud on the baseball field for sure, on the infield and on the pitching mound as well. Here's Brock Wright again getting the carry, about 4 yards there. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, still managed to get 4 yards. That's something we said a lot about. We talked a lot about last year, his ability for the yards after contact. It's insane. 2 minutes, 55 seconds here remain in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 5 on the 17-yard line. So Lopez pointing out something on the defense, and then he's going to hand this one off to Wright again. Wright attacked by 3 Bulldogs there, still able to get about 4 yards on the play. Wow.
It's going to be a Caveman first down.
Oh, wow. They ended up getting a first down on that one. A good spot there for the Cavemen, and it's going to make it 1st and 10 with 2 minutes, 22 seconds left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. 23rd on the 23-yard line. Cavemen would love to put another score up on the scoreboard. And Ruben, it's another thing, to send out a message to the state, right? If you're able to come out of here and just say they are able to get it to 24 points and they get beat by 24 points, but they hold the Bulldogs to 48-24, we're going to see scores this year. It happens every year where Artesia beats a team by 60 points, and so it kind of sends a message like, hey, this might be a team that it's hard to compare them, especially when it comes to matchups. So you just never know.
Yeah, that's true. But my thing too, I feel like maybe they're keeping it within 35 because they want to play the full 4 quarters.
They might. That might be true.
That's being negative maybe, but it's also a possibility.
A minute 20-second handoff, gets away from the defender, heading for this for the sack, ends up getting away from him. About 7-yard gain there for Lopez. When they moved that back a little bit, so it made it 3rd and 5. So Caveman regrouping here. No hurry here as he got out of bounds. So it's a minute 13, 21 seconds on the play clock. Lopez with 2 backs next to him. Fakes the handoff again, gets this pass off. This one's going to be for a first down and some. He's going to get to the 45 to the 50, pushed out at about the 50-yard line.
Flag on.
That was number 2, RJ Hernandez. I'd imagine it's going to be a personal foul.
Yeah. That's what I'm guessing, but we'll see.
So referee's going to say yes, personal foul against the defense. It's going to take them that way. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that's one of the things that will really hurt you down the stretch are personal fouls in football, right? They want to protect players against unnecessary injuries. You hit a guy completely clean and he ends up getting hurt, that's part of the game, but added things, roughing the passer, doing things that after the whistle, those are the things that can really get somebody hurt, end a career for no reason. So that's awful. So here's Lopez looking downfield. Nice spiral. Wide open is Bobby Castaneda. Looks like he's got one guy to beat, and he does. That's a touchdown for the Cavemen, and nice little extra message going into this week of practice saying, guys, we can score. We put 24 points on Artesia. We put 7 up last year. A big improvement offensively from year to year if you take it in stride that way. If that's your measuring stick, Caveman did a really good job of making it a little bit closer this year.
And I still think back to the 14-7 with the drive to tie it up. You know what I mean? That was the big turning point of the game where it gave Artesia so much more confidence, and it made the Cavemen kind of tighten up, thinking, shoot, we can't let them get more ahead. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it kind of took the wind out of their sails.
And there's the extra point. 24 points for the Cavemen, 48-24. And Ruben, what you're talking about could very well have changed this game to be 41-31.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge difference in the game. And again, it's one play that changed it all, and still kind of a head scratcher when you see it. I'd love to see it on replay. I'll see it this week. I always go back and get to watch some of the close-up field film to see if that really was that a strip? Should that have been a down? Was his knee down? Those types of things that you don't get. You don't get replays. Matter of fact, NMAA does not allow the video boards to show any gameplay of the game that's happening, especially in replay fashion. You can play like recaps from the game afterwards, but they don't. They want to protect the referees that are hard to find. So,
well, I think the thing for you is you're going to have inside information with Coach Sanders when you talk to him,
right?
And you can get exact explanation from him on that play, and that'll be a huge too.
Exactly. So Bobby Castaneda gets his first touchdown of the year, I believe. And a nice pass there from Lopez. We talked about the capabilities that he has. That really showed it right there, the potential to be really good in the air. Castaneda beat his guy by a mile, and Lopez capitalized on that one. 57 seconds remain here in the fourth quarter. Artesia's going to have this one at about the 44-yard line. If you guys get a chance, go check out All Sports Best on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, go check it out there. It is where we post all of the interviews from week to week, the Coaches Show. And Coaches Show also aired on Carlsbad Radio, 96.3 FM, before the game and at halftime. 57 seconds remain in the game. Lots of cars heading out, trying to beat traffic. And Artesia here looks like they are in a kneeling formation, and they will do just that. So they'll need another play or two here to finish off the game. But Cavemen put up 24 points tonight, at least a good thing to look forward to going into the season, that there was an improvement from last year to this year in terms of offensive output. Defensive output was around the same from last year in this game. But they do play against Goddard next week, like you said, Ruben, and that will be something that you want to hopefully see the Cavemen get up to 500. A big spotlight in Carlsbad right now, the man, the myth, the best pitcher in the MLB. The Trevor Rogers Show has been one to watch this year. Definitely somebody to go and check out. Killing it for the Baltimore Orioles. Always got to give a big shout out to the hometown guy. And folks, catch us next week right here on 96.3 FM, YouTube, Facebook, All Sports Best, anywhere that you choose. Cavemen hopefully coming back with a vengeance next week. Ruben, thanks for being on. Carlsbad Radio, All Sports Best, signing off. Thank you guys. Have yourselves a great night and a great weekend.